What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. Anyone that's ever stopped by my channel or watched one of my videos or chatted with me in Discord has always known there has always been one LMG very close to my heart. I always run this LMG still now with ongoing directive. You'll have seen my videos in the past. Heroic, all directives, Pestilence, ongoing directive build. Absolutely smacks because you can just tap them and they all just die where you just sit in cover and get all that lovely XP. But however, there is kind of a best in slot damage build for the Pestilence that you don't see very often. I actually got it from Dodd. Used to be a big Division 2 player, is the king of maths, but at the moment he's playing for Descendants. We've not seen him around for a little while. But he mathed this bad boy up and it's absolutely amazing. It absolutely smacks. But you are absolutely glass cannon. There is no survivability in this thing whatsoever. But it absolutely slaps. But the reason I wanted to bring this up in the PTS is because the Pestilence, although hasn't had any named changes, it's actually an M249 as its base, and obviously the M249 has had some changes. So if we pull up the PTS patch notes, you can see here it looks red and it all looks bad because it's been it's had its damage reduced, but it did get a 200 buff in RPM. It got a very little reload speed buff as well. That's nothing really to sweat about, but the RPM change is pretty huge. So now, as you can see here, it puts it at 935, and obviously that would be over 1,000 if you ran it with strikers. So pretty crazy. And what we're going to do here is fire. And as you can see, that is way faster than any pesty that we've had in the past. And obviously the damage ticks are actually pretty healthy because they're affected by your weapon damage. And that's why this works really well, because it is the maximum weapon damage you can get in the build, which affects the ticks. So if we wanted to take a quick look at the damage numbers, big shout out to IKEA for these numbers. I'll also link his channel down below in the description if you've not been and watched him. He's a super nice guy, knows a lot about Division, knows a lot about maths. He's cool. Go and check his channel out. But these numbers originally came from his spreadsheet, and as you can see, what is very interesting here is that obviously if you go and check out my Bullet King video, you'll see how good that is now. But for sustained damage, we're just not going to beat the Bullet King, right? The Bullet King here, for sustained damage, it's just awesome. And it makes it look like the Pesty is poop. Because also you can see the M249 here, where we get the same base damage number from here and here. It doesn't look like it's the greatest. But we don't necessarily always concern ourselves with sustain, because how many enemies are still alive when you can generally kill an enemy within one mag, so the reload isn't naturally always a true reflection of its damage. So what we'll do is we'll just focus on the burst damage. So we'll take a brand new screenshot from the sheet and we'll pull this over here and we'll pull it up there. Ah, okay, so this now looks a little bit better. So as you can see here, the pesty is right at the top, and you can see the burst value here. Now it only just wins out, right? If you look at all these, they're all pretty healthy numbers. The there is less than 4% between them, which for that is pretty good, right? And if you mix them in up here, they sit above them all. You look at them all, but obviously this doesn't take into account any talents. So in my thinking at the moment right now is, why would I ever use any other LMG apart from a Bullet King and a Pesty? I really don't think that I would, unless there was some very specific reason I needed a very specific talent. If we've got to think about saving stash space, I just think I would only ever run them two. And as you can see here, the burst DPS with the Pestilence is just a little bit more. And what we've got to think about is that the Pesty tick damage does a lot of damage. That is nothing to shy about. You'll see that on elites ticking away, and obviously the Bullet King doesn't have that pleasure of a damage talent. It just that you don't have to reload it, which is why for burst damage and which is why for sustained damage, that is easily, just like its name, the king of damage. So you could quite easily just run a Bullet King in all scenarios. But let's think about tick damage. Let's think about the mechanic that is still in the game that none of us like. LMGs suppress enemies, so that if they're ticking and taking damage and it spreads, they get a bit twitchy, don't they? If they've got a dot on them, they don't necessarily stay in cover as long. It does make them a bit twitchier, and therefore the Pestilence is going to win out sometimes in trickier situations. So this is the awesome Pestilence build, and what we'll do is we'll run over to Lincoln Memorial as we've done with all the other builds, and we'll give it a go. And I think because there was a red number next to the damage, not a lot of people picked up on the fact that the Pestilence is going to be really good now. It was always really good. It didn't get touched in Project Resolve, which was a little bit of a bummer, but you just got to remember, we are major glass. But we will absolutely shred through things. Yeah, literally, you saw them dying then from the tick damage. And I like to run the drone because I think it's a great decoy. I mean, look at that. That is just insane. And he's just gonna die. And we don't have to worry about it, you know what I mean? So if you want to do the most damage, and we actually got to the top of the perfect version of Unstoppable Force, which is awesome too. That guy had no idea what he was doing. He just kind of sat there. It's just a massacre. The new rate of fire, really good. Really good. And we're hitting 1.2 mil there just for fun, right? You have got to play a little bit careful, obviously. But, I mean, you could stack some survivability into this build, no messing. But what we'll do now, we'll prove a little bit of a point. We'll play a long distance. Kind of spray around, get some stacks going. They'll probably die. It's a shame, didn't get... Oh yeah, I did get this guy here. Look at this guy, he's almost dead. He's dead, and I didn't even hit him. This is how strong he is. We can take down elites from miles away. The new rate of fire is so good. I'm interested if I can kill this purple. The major, is he going to die without me touching him once? I mean, my drone's going to touch him, but that doesn't really count. No, he's not going to die, but I mean, just shows how good the build is. The build was really good beforehand. Now it's actually incredible. That rate of fire is so good. So good. You can see I've got damage to armor on here. I probably would be better with it rolled to critical hit chance or rate of fire. That would probably give me more damage. Because you can see with my Bullet King, the stats for rate of fire give it more damage. So that would be pretty crazy actually. Maybe the damage, I can't remember. Does the damage to armor boost the tick damage or is it just weapon damage? I think it's just weapon damage. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments down below. I am going to have to work that out before this patch goes live and get that ready, because if damage to armor doesn't affect the ticks, then I will definitely go probably with rate of fire, you know, put it up even more. Why not? That is because that is a really nice boost to the gun. So yeah, the fact that that can do so much damage, that rate of fire, top tier. Love that change. One of my favorite changes that I think has gone under the radar because, you know, everyone saw red on the damage. That is going to be it for the video. It is now 1:30 a.m. This will probably be the last of my TU22 PTS videos. It's been a wild 3 days for videos. Thank you for supporting the channel. Welcome to the new people that joined via a member as well, for that extra support. I really appreciate it. Welcome all new subscribers to the channel, and thank you to everybody that's watched, liked, commented. Every single bit supports the channel, and it has grown exponentially over the last 3 days. So here's to keep that going. Thank you to you guys and everyone that watches the videos. Don't forget to follow me over on X and join my community Discord. You'll find all the links in the description. Let me know what you want me to do for the next phase of the PTS. I think it's going to be live again on Friday. I'm pretty sure Daria said there'll be 2 phases of this PTS. So if you let me know in the comments what you want me to check out, I will make a list. I've already got a list of things I didn't get to, so I'll stack them all up. And then when it goes live on Friday, I will rifle through as many of them as I possibly can for you, obviously depending on changes that happen. Thanks for watching, agents. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.